Welcome, adventurers, to Jordan Quests through Neverwinter today. So, I'm trying out this new MMO called Dungeons & Dragons Neverwinter. It is a free-to-play MMO based in the Forgotten Realms Dungeons & Dragons universe, using the 4th edition rules. So, I've made a couple of characters. I have one that's fairly high up. Mid-level, I'll say. And we have, it's a cleric. We have a tank, a guardian fighter, and then I also have a great weapon fighter that I'm trying out. Today, I'm going to show you the guardian fighter, the tank class of Neverwinter. So we're going to enter the world. Neverwinter is actually pretty cool. It is one of the sort of action RPG MMOs. So it's not really, having 23 different commands on your hotbar. It is, you have a left click, you have a right click, and that's 2 maneuvers, and then you have a few sort of special powers. They call them encounter powers, and then you have 1 to 2 daily powers. Now, they're not really once per day. They're sort of you have to gradually recharge your action points, and as you fill up the action points, once you reach the full amount, then you can do your daily ability, which is extra powerful. Alright, so here we have my Dwarven Guardian Fighter. Let's see here. Now, one big thing is I really hope I can get an axe. So you really need a dwarf with a sword. You need a dwarf with an axe. Or a hammer. Or a maul, or something like that. But we're going to go into a dungeon over here and see if we can show you some of the elements of the game here. So we're going to head on down here. And, alright, so here's a gateway to proceed to the next area. I'm heading to an area called the Tower District. So we have the map here. Basically, everything is sort of a little instance area. It's not really an open world. So we started out in the Protector's Enclave. That's part of the Prime City area. And then you have these other districts. And then if you leave the city, you have these other areas that are their own sort of mini zone, if you will. As there are different levels, they'll unlock, and you'll be able to go to them and do a bunch of quests and dungeons and whatnot in there. So, Tower District is where we're heading, so we shall go there right now. Alright, so here we are in the Tower District. Yeah, private listen here.
Hail, adventurer!
License.
Glad to see you. The orcs of the Many Arrows tribe are threatening to overwhelm this area of the city. The Neverwinter Guard could use your help in driving them back. If you're interested, talk to Sergeant Creed at the Fallen Tower.
Thanks for the briefing, Private. Alright, so yes, this is an orc overrun area. We're going to head on over here. Now, the one thing unique with this is that, yes, you do have to sort of maneuver your way around battle. You'll have enemies that'll swing at you. And if you see the swing coming, you can sort of dodge out of the way for certain classes. With a tank, you're the tank. You don't dodge. I'm going to give you a quick example here. Alright, we have a couple of orcs here. They're fairly low level. Let's show you some of the aspects here. When I hit left click, alright, we have a swing. We just swing our sword. And we can do this all day long, but you have to click. You do have to click. There's no auto attack. You have to hit every one of your swings. So yes, I have a left click, a right click. My encounter powers, which are binded to Q, E, and R. And then I'll have a daily power, which I use with the number 1 key. Alright, so it wants me to check out some of these barricades. So, alright, that barricade is in passable repair. Alright, where are some enemies? There's some enemies. Alright, so they just dropped in. So we have 2 sort of low class, we used to call minions, and then 1 lieutenant. So this guy, actually, that's a pretty powerful lieutenant. We're going to definitely be able to demonstrate some of the abilities here. So, kind of head on in. So you see that circle, those are sort of AoEs, and this game has a lot of AoEs. So if I hit right click, I have a shield bash. Oh, get out of the way. I'm playing very poorly. Alright, so the other ability that I have, the most important thing, is I can hold shift, and I can block attacks. And I have a little bar on the side. Here, watch. I'll block a few attacks. And you'll see that the bar, the blue bar on the side, goes down. See, it's going down there. If I block too much, it will actually break my shield. And I can't use it for a while. There we go. So I have some people helping out. So yeah, experience is all completely, not really divided up. You get full experience as long as you participated in the kill. So there's really no need to try to hog spawns or to not accept people giving you a hand, because they will always, you'll always get full experience, whether you got it by yourself or whether you had a group kill it. You'll always get full experience. Alright, so we still have something to do here. Probably because it's pretty busy on the server right now, so there's lots of people running around. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to do some blocking. Now, I have other abilities, like if I hit... Phew, that would have been painful. If I hit Q here, I have a little charge ability. If I hit E, E is my sort of taunt. The little red X appears above here, that's the taunt. And then I have R, which is like an overhead smash. I use a potion. Alright, here's some more guys. Shields up. Now, the other thing about tank is that you can hold your shield up and attack. I have a sort of overhead stab that I can do, and I can do a shield bash, like this. Hit him with that. Oof. That. I'll show you that a little bit better. And then we'll show you a daily here in a minute. Alright, so, there we go. I'm going to do a daily here to this guy. Let's see, I have a nice cone effect here. So I go... Oh, shoot. Well, they all died. So you see now the gold die, it was actually a 20-sided die that was in the middle of my hotbar there, is now grayed out. So I had to refill my hotbar, or my, excuse me, refill my die in order to use my daily again. There we go. We're going to hit Q. Let's run in and smash this guy. Let's see, it's a nice charge attack. Stab him a few times. I'll block that. Spawn him. Do a nice big overhead swing. Put up the shield. Block. Now, as long as I like shield slam him a few times, my block will stay full. So every time you do a shield slam, you get a little bit of your block back. So I could actually just sit here and taunt this one guy. Let's say if I was in a group in a dungeon, and I could sit here and try to just shield slam this guy a couple of pokes, use my encounters when they're up, and just sort of, you know, tank it. And that's how the tanking works in Neverwinter here. Nope. Do some blocking. Now that took a lot of power away because everyone's hitting me. So we're going to smoke them with a daily. Like that. Alright, so sometimes if you really get pounded and some big attacks, you really just sometimes just gotta avoid them. That way your shield doesn't break. So if it's a very easily avoidable attack, just avoid it. Don't just block every hit. So with Neverwinter, there are 5 classes currently. So we have the Guardian Fighter, which is your tank class. We have the Devoted Cleric, which is sort of a ranged healer, priest sort of class. Well, they're actually pretty cool because most of their attacks have a damage. There's a Cleric here, up right there. Their healing comes through damage for a lot of their abilities. You can make a solely healer cleric using things like Bastion of Health and Healing Word, in which you just pretty much sit back and heal. But you can also do lots of attacks that have healing procs off of them. I'm just going to accept a few new quests here.
According to the dispatch you recovered from the dead courier,
so I'll get a nice shield out of this. Very nice shield. So I'm definitely going to do this one. We'll go do this quest. Containment. That's just from. So I definitely want to do that sewer crawl. So let's go find the sewer entrance. So what does he want? Hunting relics. Alright, so yeah, so we have the Guardian Fighter, you have the Cleric. You also have the Trickster Rogue, which is sort of a dodgy DPS class. They just move around, they get behind enemies, they backstab them for huge amounts of damage, they use stealth.
I'm glad you're here.
They are boss killers. They will single-handedly kill bosses very easily. Then we have the Great Weapon Fighter. This is a variant of the Guardian Fighter, sort of. It's its own class, though. The Great Weapon Fighter uses a two-hander, and they do sort of swathing AoE melee damage. Great for taking out waves of minions. It's still seen that there might need a little bit of improvements done on the Great Weapon Fighter. They don't seem to quite hold up versus some of the other classes yet. We're probably hopefully expecting some improvements in a patch, hopefully in the near future. And then the last class is the Wizard, the Control Wizard. And that is your Measure, Stun, holds, things like that. They use control powers as well as some DPS to take care of the fights. Very useful. Lots of really cool powers. Actually, all of the classes have really done really well so far. And hopefully they'll open up some new classes. There's been some rumors on 2 more classes coming shortly. Don't know exactly when. A Warlock called the Scourge Warlock is supposed to be coming eventually. These are from people that have looked into the data of the game and saw that there was already items listed for a class called the Scourge Warlock, as well as a class called the Archer Ranger. So you're going to have a bow user as well as a probably DPS mage class. Alright, so here's the Merchant Square sewer. Let's head on in. Races. Races in this game actually are quite varied. You have a lot of different races to start out with. More races than classes, actually. You have humans. Humans are a fairly generalized race. They get a bonus to defense. They get bonus feat points. And they get +2 to whatever stat you want. So you can pick a stat and you get +2 to it. Then you have Dwarf, which is what I am here. Dwarfs make good tanks. They have resistances to dots. They have resistances to being knocked back, as well as a plus to Constitution, which is your hit points, and your choice of either Wisdom or Strength, I believe. And I went with Strength for the tank. If you were going to go with a Cleric, you would go with Wisdom. You also then have the Tiefling, which is actually a pretty cool class. They are a sort of demon-blooded class. They're like half demon or half devil. So they have horns and a tail, and they're kind of cool. They make good wizards. They have +2 intelligence, I believe, or charisma, and I think Constitution. I could be wrong on that. But they do like extra damage when lower on life and things like that. And have all sorts of. When they get angry, they get tougher. All right, daily. I'm not sure if I really like that daily. So I'll show you here in a minute. You can actually customize your abilities a little bit. I don't have very many to customize at the moment, but I'll show you what I have. So, took care of that fight. Now, I'm going to hit C here, go into my character tab, go into the powers tab, and you'll see that I have other abilities in here. So I have the Lunging Strike, which is my Q ability. I have Enforced Threat, which is E, with a little AoE taunt. Griffin's Wrath, which is the overhead strike. And then I have a few dailies. I can do Villain's Menace, which is actually kind of cool. I'm trying out the Terrifying Impact, which I'm not really liking because it's a small cone. I think I might go back to Villain's Menace. So if I want to go back to Villain's Menace, I can simply grab this, drop it into my daily slot here, and it'll switch. It gives a cooldown of 10 seconds before it becomes into effect. I also have Fighter's Recovery, which is a hit that heals a little bit. We'll see how that goes. But as we go down the tree, you get other choices. So you can sort of customize how you want your layout to be. So races. We also have the elf. Elves also make good wizards and rogues. So they have intelligence and dexterity, and I don't remember what the other stat is right now, I'm sorry. And they get benefits to some magical abilities, I believe. So I'm just going to skip over that because obviously I don't know what I'm talking about right now. Other races include the half-elf, as well as the half-orc, and the halfling, which is just a small part. We think of hobbits from Lord of the Rings or from The Hobbit. I've been told that halflings make really good rogues. Half-orcs make good, actually make good rogues as well, believe it or not, but also can make good great weapon fighters. I say decent guardians. Well, no, actually I'm going to say great weapon fighters and rogues. And I believe I'm missing it. There is a special race if you ended up ordering the pre-order, which is like $200 to get the deluxe pre-order of this. You can get a race called the Menzoberranzan Drow, which is the Dark Elf. They said they're going to be releasing a Drow later. Oh, ding, level 12. Excellent. They said they're going to be releasing a Drow later, but it's going to be different from the Menzoberranzan Drow. The abilities are a little bit different. I guess there's some customization, character customization that's a little bit different for the Menzoberranzan Drow rather than just the regular Drow. And I think that's everyone. They said they're going to be adding plenty later as far as classes and races. Right now they're just basically concentrating on server stability at this time. It's about mid-May. And hopefully once the servers are all completely stable and there's no exploits, they'll work on adding new content to the game, which is what I'm looking forward to. I'm really enjoying this. This game in general. Oh, crap. This game in general because it's fun. The combat's fun. It's very engaging. It's not sitting there and waiting for your auto attacks or your ability chains. You know, just hitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You kind of have to like wait for the attacks, block when you can block. You know, it's very interactive. Each class does have their own sort of special traits as far as, you know, like they block. Some classes teleport. The mage or the control wizard teleports. Some of the classes like cleric and rogue dodge, and then the great weapon fighter has a sprint. And they all play very differently, so you'll find something that you should hopefully like. As long as you don't mind the sort of action combat, you will find something that you like. Just smash his head in. Back out of that. See, it's just easier to back out of it rather than block it if I can. And block that. And you're down. Wow, awesome. Alright, well I did level up a few minutes ago, so let's check that out. Hit U. We have a new power point, we have a new feat point, and we have a task that we can go see the broker. So we're going to hit this, it'll take us over to power points, and we can see what we can add. So, I don't have a tier yet, a new tier. I get at 15 points, I'm at 12 right now. At 15 points I'll get a new tier, I'll get a new bunch of powers to select from. So what I can do though, is I can sort of boost my abilities. Now right now I'm sort of building a tank, so I've been working on shield talent. You see that there's a little 1 block, a little 2 block, and a shaded out 3 block. Every time I get a point, I can spend it in. Now you can't get rank 3 until you've spent a total of 20 points. So not until level 20 can you actually get rank 3. So, I have to pick something else. I think I'm going to go with Tide of Iron. It's always good to have your at-wills being useful. So we're going to increase Tide of Iron. So now we have Tide of Iron, 2nd rank, has plus 10% more damage. That's always good. Alright, so now we'll see a feat point. So feats are sort of just small buffs to your characters, and as you progress down the feat tree, you can eventually get a sort of Paragon selection of feats. So they end up calling the next tier. Once you hit 30, you get Paragon points, so that you can select more advanced buffs and improvements upon your powers and abilities. So we have Action Surge, gain 2, 4, 6, 8, or 10% more action points from guarding attacks. That's kind of cool. Fill up your action points, get dailies off daily powers off more often. Next we have Strength Focus, increase the effectiveness of your strength by 5, 10, or 15%. It's actually kind of useful. It means you're going to be dealing more damage. And this one, Toughness, increases your maximum hit points by 3, 6, or 9%. Now, obviously, for a tank, more hit points is always better. So we're going to stick with this one, but I might actually come back to that Strength one. And we're going to commit the changes. Yes. Alright, and this is probably just a quest. They want me to go see the...
down in the Seven Suns Coaster Market. We will search through all available auctions to locate the items that are right for you. It might be worthwhile to head down to the market and see what he recommends.
There you go. So we're going to talk to the auction broker and see what he wants. But I think that's going to have to wait for next time. For tonight, we camp. Thank you for watching Jordan Quests through Dungeons & Dragons Neverwinter.